Das ist Moritz Metz, der ist krank, deshalb fällt sein Talk aus. Jetzt ist er aber doch da und machen jetzt irgendwie beides. Wer fängt an?
Hallo, ja, ich wollte eigentlich einen richtig schönen, unterhaltsamen Vortrag vorbereiten, lag dann aber jetzt 2 Wochen mit Fieber im Bett wegen einer Mittelohrentzündung und habe deswegen nur ganz kurz 2, 3 Minuten was. Ich
So I just have 2 or 3 minutes for this talk. These are the most important things about making. I have a radio show on D-Radio knowledge, and I'm building stuff there. And most of this is done in an RV. And we make crystal meth from sugar. And we also go in different workshops, and we sold the caps that you can that you can switch off TVs during World Masters, or for example this bar bike. And we built this on radio. It's kind of silly to do that, but it's funny. Here with this bar bike, it's great to sit in the park. Or we visit people who do knitting, who hack knitting machines, and we visit people planting chilies, and we sit together with the lockpickers. And on the left, it's the German master of lockpicking. And there's an inside-out egg made with a centrifuge, and we also told you how to fix zippers. And I wanted to tell you something. It's about patience, and we built a quadcopter, and we wanted it to start during the show. And what actually happened was this. It just didn't stop turning, and it crashed completely. And one DIY knowledge is, if you want to make something right, you have to take your time. And this didn't happen in this case. Maybe there's more in the next year. Thank you. Well, this is my friend Philipp Steffan, who's organizing the Maker Faire, a real nice place for crafting and making, and it's like the Republica for makers. Thank you. This talk was already held on Tuesday and with 4 people at the New Thinking stand. And now it's a few more people here on the stage. The Maker Faire is a big festival that already happened 2 times in Germany, in Hanover. There's where I'm with the team. My background is I'm a writer for the magazine Make. You might know that from the US, and Germany also has it now. And it used to be called CT Hacks. It's still there with a small logo on the page. We release it six times a year, and I had a few on Tuesday, but they are all gone now, and we also do this on the internet. And we usually talk about the same topics as Moritz does, everything that's combined under making. The Maker Faire is the event for the magazine, and I show you a video on the Maker Faire of last year in Hanover. It's much better to show this in a video than telling you how it actually happened and what happened. There were 9,000 visitors during the one weekend, and it's not a fair, it's a festival. There's people coming. There's makers coming, and people who do creative stuff, no matter if it's quadrocopters or something else. Here's Fab Lab Bremen, who had a printer. Kids were able to make stuff. It's all about the fun of making, and it's always a technical background there. And I'm happy about the Republica and of the makerspace here. I've heard a few talks about telling kids how to code, and we want to get close to this, and we want to tell people how to make, and teachers want to tell their students how to make stuff. because they want to make it fun. And you can see quadrocopters and fire blasting stuff, and you can make your own rings. We made this 2 times in Hanover. The next time will be in 4 weeks, where you are all invited to. And in October, that's the reason why I am here. We also make this in Berlin, in the Postbahnhof. And who knows, maybe this fire monster from England is there as well, because there's one of those highlights that's not like covering everything, but it's always exciting and fascinating. And I have a few facts for the Maker Faire for you. It's coming from America, from our sister magazine Make, from O'Reilly. It was founded 10 years ago. There were 130 Maker Fairs in last year, and next year there will be the 10th event in San Francisco. There were about 90 makers and 30,000 visitors. There was a Maker Faire in the White House, where Barack Obama also cuddled with a robot giraffe, and it shows how makers, how young makers grow. And the whole technology interest is the future, basically, and we have to tell the kids how fun it can be to make stuff. And in Europe, there was the biggest Maker Faire in Rome with 90,000 visitors, and Maker Faire Hanover was visited by 9,000 people. But it doesn't sound a lot, but it was really fun. And I wanted to tell you something about the word makers. And the whole do-it-yourself thing is not really new. The kids of the 70s and 80s in Germany should know all these guys you see here, like John Pütz and the Knopfhoff show. But most of those shows were taken out of TV. The CT basically based on an old hacking magazine, because people wanted ready machines instead of doing their own ones, and everything is coming back right now. Do-it-yourself stuff. There's no new tools like 3D printers.
Sorry, ich bin ein bisschen irritiert, weil hier immer irgendwelche Durchsagen kommen. 3D
printers, for example. We have seen those on the Republica as well. Same applies to Arduino. And this was what art students wanted. And the Raspberry Pi is also there. It's a mini computer made for institutions for knowledge and for schools. And you know stuff like this happening in Fab Labs. This is in Berlin. It's basically made for makers, and it's getting more popular in the last years. And the difference between hackerspaces and Fab Labs are not really big. It's all about making and doing stuff. And the Maker Faire is one event, like others, where people come out of their small rooms and places. And there's some nice pictures what happened at Maker Faire. There's electronics projects, the good old railway, model railway. There's 3D printers and laser cutters. There's robots. It's always interesting to have the small ones, like from Arduino, or the big one, a cocktail machine that makes the perfect cocktail with the press of a button. We also had that at Maker Faire Berlin. And then really interesting topic is steampunk. It's interesting to see that there's a different world of making in the Victorian age, and it's closely connected to cosplay. If you've been on the book fair in Leipzig, there was this guy, the 60-year-old teacher, who made wings with a hydraulic system behind it. He was really big, and he had a talk on cosplay as also makers. You have to make costumes, you have to be creative. and you have to turn stuff into your own. Talking about age, there's different schools and classes coming to our Maker Faire and building robots. And there's different setups, like hovercrafts made of blowing machines. There's flying objects, quadrocopter, multicopter, and also stuff like blimps flying around that you can steer. And these are some impressions from the event. The Maker Faire sometimes looks a bit like Burning Man. It's weird cars, weird vehicles. And there's the whole area of artwork and crafting. We had smithing systems, and this year it's not gone, all the handiwork, but there's a renaissance of handiwork where people tell, okay, it's still normal. And there's the whole manual crafting and sewing. It's all being digitized, hacked knitting machines from 70s and 80s with modern Arduino systems connected to a computer. And there's different things made with it. And I also saw Thomas, the travel pop guy, all the wearable stuff, electronics and clothes and stuff like that. If you come from the industry side, you know the Internet of Things. There's a block, put a chip on it, and you take stuff that's already existing and you make new stuff of it. Because this is really, really important if you talk about the maker topic. You just have to... Yeah, well, you have to get to the point. It's actually something about education. You have to learn to handle these things, and it should be kind of playful, especially for kids and schools. If you're interested in this, I really invite you to Maker Faire Hanover in 4 weeks, to the Congress Centrum in Hanover. It's in June, and I'm living in Berlin because I know that people don't leave Berlin for events, especially not to Hanover, even if it's not too far away. But it's going to be really awesome this time as well. And if you or someone you know who's having fun on going to Berlin, you can talk to me about the Maker Faire Berlin. You can talk to me about topics and interests you have. It's the Maker Faire in Berlin at the Postbahnhof. There's different events during that time. So we decided not to make it in June, but in October. We're in Postbahnhof because it's not a fair you want to make at a boring place, but this is like the whole industry charm you have at the Postbahnhof works together with our event. In America, it's in a scientific museum, which is also pretty great. This is how it looks like when people are happy and excited. And I want to motivate you to come. And we want to have nice projects, workshops, and talks. We have about 100 stalls in Hanover, Fab Labs, hackerspaces, private garages, art projects, university projects, school projects. And we always tell the people you're not building a flea market or a stall in the fair. You just do whatever you want to do, and you can go home with gratuitous stuff like for pots, and you can experience and actually learn something from the event. This is the last slide. This is my contact data, what I actually forgot. We are still searching for partners for this event, and how can we work together with you? I would be really happy to get to know that. We need money for the event because it's not growing on trees. We need contacts to politics and industry. It would be great to have cooperations, and even if I have to give it forward to my colleagues, because I'm just responsible for the content. I'm here for a while, so I have a few minutes and there's a break. Otherwise, just feel free to send me an email or tweet to me.